How many lines? Tell him to write it briefly. How previously given question follow. Okay, right. We'll take up one by one. No problem. पहले यहाँ पे जो लोग हैं. Anybody? So one person started reading now. Go ahead. Let us scan this way, right? Okay. एक यहाँ से शुरू कर. You have doubt? नहीं है. पुराना भी पिछला क्लास कोई क्लास नहीं. AOM अभी ये पढ़ा हमने. कहाँ पे? नहीं आप मैं रेफरेंस वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. AOM एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट, राइट. नाउ सी. अच्छा इसमें क्या कंफ्यूजन है? डेफिनेशन. ओके राइट. सो आई न्यू आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड. सो आई टोल्ड यू कि डायग्राम जाओ सीधे बना दो, चिपका दो वहाँ पे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, राइट. बट यू वांट टू एनालाइज इट, सो लेट अस सिंप्लीफाई इट. द वर्ड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ओके, सो हिज क्वेश्चन इज the difference between administration, organization and management, right? Because you are studying public administration, so at least you must be knowing what is administration. What is it? यही तो क्वेश्चन है तुम्हारा, है ना? Administration. See, when you use the word term administration, it can be used even for private sector or public sector both, right? But we have studied a term known as epistemology in one of the previous classes. The word epistemology, what does that mean? Every term, every word that we use has some origin, right? So every vocabulary that you are using, it has some source. The source will help us understand what is the sense of this term, right? For example, if you want to say okay to someone, right, there can be various forms of this okay. You know what is the full form of okay? Full form of okay. Objection? Okay. Right, so you want to say okay to someone, there can be various forms of expression, right? So the way you express the word will be able to convey the meaning. Are you getting? It's the same word, right? Now see, so when I'm using any term in any subject, obviously it will have a source. The source will help me understand what is the exact nature of this term. Why should I use it? Where should I use it? And what meaning will I convey when I use this term? So when you use the word administration, it comes from a Latin term administrare, right? That is the root word, administrare, which means to serve, right? Now, in what context they have used to serve, right? Obviously, to serve is a function which is more associated with government than the private sector. So they started associating the meaning of this term administrare, to serve, with the government system. Right? But government system will serve, but how it will serve? It needs to have authority to serve. Right? So we say authority not to manipulate, not to control, not to criticize, not to exploit, but to serve. So the word administration, wherever it is used, the sense is that there is a system which is exercising authority to serve people. That is the meaning. Fine? But administration can have multiple aspects. Like when you say administration is a system, can I say administration is also an activity? ठीक है, ये आपने अभी नहीं समझा, इसलिए that's a problem. Let's say, okay, let's keep this as doubt session, okay? Right? And you try to ask anything that you want. It can be very silly, it doesn't matter. Nothing is going beyond this classroom. ठीक है, कोई बाहर नहीं बताएगा इसने ऐसा बकवास क्वेश्चन पूछा है, राइट? और कोई ये भी नहीं बोलेगा इन्होंने इतना बकवास क्वेश्चन का आंसर भी दिया, राइट? फाइन. सो इट डजंट मैटर, आपको जो लगता है यू आस्क. सी, So when I'm using the word, let's say administration, which is coming from a root word administrare, right? In simple way, it would be to serve. ठीक है. अब biggest question is, भाई, who will serve, who will be served, how they will be served, ये भी तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना, right? So simply we cannot say administration means to serve, but yes, we have to specify who is to be served. So let us say we say citizens. Who will serve? Let us say bureaucracy or public administration. Now see. So the moment I say administration is a general term which signifies to serve. But whom are we referring to this function of serving? Who is going to serve? It is government system, which we will call as public, right? So when I add the word public to this, जैसे मैंने ये word public add किया, what happened? I can specify exactly the meaning of what I am saying. That we are talking about a government system which is there to serve. But if I just use the word administration, I am not specifying what exactly is this system. Whom are we going to serve? Right? So if I say private administration, yes, the private system somewhere is going to serve. But whom? The private system will serve the clients. Right? अगर ये private system होता है तो ये क्या होंगे? Clients हो जाएंगे और customers. It's the same people. But you see, the degree of demand will change. A citizen's demand is different, and a client's and customer's demand is different. Right? So the moment I say you are a client with respect to some other system. You are a citizen with respect to some other system. So when you are a client, this serve will be more related to private administration. So now, the word administration becomes a general term which generally deals with serving or to achieve certain goals. Where this goal is being achieved, for whom it is being achieved, depends upon this term that we are using. Right? So, ये public administration होगा, right? Let us say that way. Now, obviously the word administration has multiple meanings. Like one is to serve. When I say to serve is a function, right? It is something which it is doing. But who is doing it? तो मैंने बोला, see, administration एक system है. It's a system which performs administration as a function. तो administration ही system है और administration ही function है. It is both. It is a function. Now see, so you can interpret in two ways: administration as system, administration as function, and administration as a study subject. So what you're doing? You're studying administration or public administration, right? You want to get into the system and then you want to do public administration. तो एक ही term है, but the way it is used, sense will be different. So you can say PubAd is a subject, PubAd is a system, and PubAd is a function. Fine. Now when we are distinguishing between administration, organization, management, which of these we are referring to? किसको रेफर कर रहे हैं? Which one are we referring to? No. In one we are referring to function. In one we are referring to system. ठीक है, तो अब मैं अज्यूम करता हूं कि गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम इज द मोस्ट पावरफुल इन दी सोसाइटी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. अच्छा, पहले उसको भी छोड़ दो, लीव दैट. These three things are clear, that it is a system, it is a function, it is a subject. Now, which is the best form of administrative system that we can design? We'll study it here and we'll say now we want to design as per this knowledge we have. ये knowledge कहाँ से आएगा? Theories of organization. Right? We'll study that, develop that knowledge, And then we'll say, based on this knowledge, we'll now implement this to develop a system. So you studied theories of organization here, or developed theories of organization, and then you implemented it to create a system. Which system did you create as the best? Bureaucracy. Now see, the moment you are referring to PubAd as a system, you are mostly referring to government system, which we call as bureaucracy. Right? Bureaucracy is not just about Weber's theory. Bureaucracy is a form of organization. Right? So I can say it is considered to be the best form of organization. Right? But in general, it is just a form of organization. Probably as a system, as a design, we do not have any other alternative which is as good as bureaucracy. That is why we accept it that way. Right? So PubAd का एक meaning ये है. Or when you say public administration system equal to bureaucracy, acceptable. Right? Not necessarily totally correct, but acceptable. Then function. Obviously functions which are the general functions which this system can perform. So functions क्या है इसके? Law and order, regulation, development, it can be multiple functions, right? But initially when we use the word administrative functions, we are referring to traditional functions of the government. What are traditional functions? What are the traditional functions? Law and order, tax collection, regulation, control, discipline, ये traditional functions हैं. To an extent welfare, but welfare एक modern function माना जाता है. Once the democracy comes into picture, right? Still, it will have some functions. So now you are using the word management. Now what management would mean? It has more of economic or financial reference. It has more economic reference. So managing is more related to cost benefit. It is more related to profit. It may not directly mean to serve. No. It is profit, right? It is optimization of resource. Now it may generally mean so many things, but it will have more or less economic orientation. Efficiency, productivity, all those terms will be related to management. Material, whatever. So when you say I am managing something very well, it will have a basic meaning. What is it? I am performing more or less these functions very well. I am doing things in a very cost effective manner. When you say I am administering things very well, right? So it will not have exactly the same meaning as managing it. So when you say I am administering, yes, I am controlling it, I am regulating it, I am exercising authority, right? And so many other things you may refer. So when you compare these two, administration and management, even though many times they are used interchangeably, that is not correct word. This will be more with respect to authority. Right? This will be more with respect to government or state system. Its reference is more political, right? And this will be in reference to economy, efficiency, right? Or for that matter, I can say private sector. So see, this will be more related to government sector, this will be more related to private sector, right? An organization will be a system which may exist in both, right? So it depends upon how we are going to run the society. How we are going to run the society. There is a government, then there are private players, and they use a different form of organization. So we can very easily define it in terms of function, that there is a system of authority under which there are various private sector organizations which are working. How they are working? Through a system which we can call as organization.